Right, and back up. Now that's clear. It kind of holds on its own, so you don't have to tie it off or anything like that. It'll be fine. Okay, so now tails down. That's out of the way. And at this point, we're ready to release the main, the latches, you know, and the straps on the main over here. Come over. Now, watch that as you do these straps. You probably have to come in the front here, loosen up this front ratchet, make sure it's loose, and then it just lifts up. Now sometimes I've had this, hello, come here. Sometimes I've had this strap get caught on the, there's a little stud that comes out of the tire over here, right? Make sure that you get this thing off of that stud, because you'll find out pretty soon when it starts to hang up and then the plane starts to go catty corner and all that. So make sure this strap is well clear of the whole wheel and ready to go. Same thing here. Release. And up and over. Clear of that stud. And there. Okay. The plane is now ready to come out. So we will now go to the back and we'll walk it out. Turn that on. Okay. This all comes down to making sure you're clear on all this stuff, making sure everything's free, making sure all the ramps are in place and all that. Just kind of one last check. And then you start pulling it out. Okay. You will put your, this is what I do, put this in the left hand so you're not tempted to pull with this pole, and then just start wheeling it out. Now here's the trick to this whole process, which is you're guiding right down the center line of the plane, right where the tail skid goes, and just put it on this line right here. If you do that, the rest will fall in place. You just got to make sure that the center line of the plane is on that line. Use this. You might have to actually pull it a little bit. Depends on if you've got your trailer jacked up high in the front. That's what I would always do, is try to make sure that the trailer is jacked up high so that it's always a positive force to the back. You don't want to roll it forward on its own. That can get a little dangerous. And you'll notice here the wires on the sides. If I'm on this line right here, if I'm watching the center line of the plane, I don't even have to watch those wires. I know it's going to clear. So don't look at the tire, by the way. It's not the tire that needs to be on the line. It needs to be the center line of the plane. So watch that. Because the tire may be off a little bit to the left or something. That's not the important part. Alright, so now it's out to the point where it's going to roll on its own. You'll notice here too, it's part of the process for putting it back in, but it's important to note you need to use the tow bar in the front. It's not pulling on it, but it's keeping the wheel straight. It's really important you do that, and then make sure also that you do this strap just like I've got it here. Okay, so over and make it under like this. What that does is it keeps that front wheel from getting kind of cockeyed and going weird places. You can also guide it a little bit as you're coming in and out. So it's a good thing to have, and make sure it's set up just like this. Okay, and then I just release it enough and unhook it. Pull that out. And then get back. All right, then the plane is out. And at this point you can start building it up. So let's keep running. Let's go ahead and pull it out. All right. Okay, so at this point, actually, you'll be amazed at how easy it is to pull the plane. Whoop, hello.
The front wheel's turning.
Front wheel got crazy. You know what? I'll just pull it just a little bit more, I think. There, because it's actually, it stays off the ground. Turn this. Back forward. Okay, at this point, you're free. So it depends on if you want to leave the tow bar on or not, but if you need to still tow the plane somewhere. But I'll take this off. Just imagine I'm doing that. I'm not going to take it off right now because we're going to put it right back on. Back on like that. Notice the way that the prop is set. This is how you want to do it when you're putting the plane in the trailer. If you've got it set like this, it clears all the stuff over to this side and it clears over here. So, you know, just make sure you, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It probably would still clear, but you got a lot more space if you do it this way. All right, let's look at braces. So these are travel braces that you see here, and pin, usually put those right there in my mouth and keep it. And usually on grass, if these bolts can get lost, they will. Keep a good handle on them. That comes out. My own personal preference, I always put it right back where I found it. And put this back in. Where is it? There. Put that back in. Okay, this is down here. You see there's a little hole down in there. There's a bolt right, or a nut right there. Sometimes they get tight enough where you can't do it with your hands. And I may have to get a, no, okay, there it loosened. Okay, so what happens is the bolt comes out of the back where my hand is here, and that's just a little lock nut right here. And hold on to that, don't lose it. Put my hand under there, there. Okay, there's the bolt. There, you see? And it goes through that little hole right there. Okay, so that'll be the first thing you do when you come back and put it up. Okay, again, right back where I found it. And that's the first strut. Usually this is the time also that I go ahead and put on the tool belt, because you're always gonna need a little tool. Nice to have it handy. There we go, the other strut. Okay, same thing over here. Out. You notice while we're at it, you can see the gas gauge, and this is the line, the fuel line. Notice I've kind of put something on there to keep it from rubbing. It worried me when I've, you know, making sure that it doesn't cut into that hose. And this is actually a new sight gauge. It's not the original. There's a guy in Arizona. He's kind of a serious whisperer. He came up with these new sight gauges. There's actually two tubes. There's one inside the other, and then there's like a copper line going down through there, so it'll help you see the sight, but it doesn't fog over. The other ones kind of get yellow and start looking crappy before too long. This one actually is holding up really well, so kind of a nice bonus. I won't charge you extra for that. This one comes out, hopefully. Come on. Yeah, come on, let loose. Nope. Just enough to where you can't get it. So, your handy tools, these two, 1 and 2. You get one, grab it on here, and usually just a quick turn will do it. Just enough to get it loose. Back in. All right. And out. And there, your front braces are off. Now, rear brace. What these do, when you fold these wings back, they're heavy. You know, and that's why I always pull the fuel out whenever I'm transporting the plane. Make sure you get all the weight you can off of these wings, because when you pull them back like this, there's an awful lot of weight. You'll notice here that this little travel thing that Kitfox made is nice. Covers the tail, keeps the, you know, these straps keep the wings from going, you know, going out if you're not traveling. But if you're traveling, you've got to have these braces. So the braces here, like this. Okay, these I had made because the other ones just didn't hold up, the ones from Kitfox. And the problem is like right down in here. There's an awful lot of weight that's coming down on here, and they were snapping like right in this space right in here. So this one, I don't think you're going to ever snap it. So I think we're in good shape. But I got to start on the other side and pull this up. Over here, you'll see it's just a bolt going through. Again, put this here, get this off. You notice I have a spacer in here. There's a little black spacer, and for some reason it needs that spacer. So keep that handy, don't lose it. Put this stuff down here.